Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. So let's hit the rumor mill now, because that's the final section that we do for the episode. No confirmations or refutations. We do have a couple of new sources. The first one is MODOK, the live action movie, is rumored once again to be featuring Jim Carrey in the title role. This source isn't any better than the last source, but it is a second source, so we're going to bump it up just a little bit and say 55% likely that Jim Carrey will in fact be playing Modoc in live action. And then our other news source actually has some new information behind it as well, and that is the Fantastic Four. We now have word, and the news source elaborates or restates rather a rumor we've been hearing forever, and that's John Krasinski is being rumored to play Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards, aka the Elastic Man. Actually, no, Elastic Man was somebody else. Anyway, yeah, so Krasinski, he's already done it once. He was in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, however brief. But that's, you know, just because things happened in that movie doesn't mean he can't come back to the role as a variant from a different universe or as a proper 616 variant that, you know, we've gone over different rumors of how that could happen. So we have that rumor, but then this news source also goes on to say that we also have word that he is very probably going to be not only starring in this movie, directing this movie. Now, we do know that his show on Amazon Prime, Jack Ryan, is no more. He is not going to be returning for another season of Jack Ryan, so that kind of frees him up to do some things. If that is approximately 5 to 6 movies in the MCU canon, it's surprising, especially if the check was big enough. So, yeah, I feel like there is a fair amount of reason to believe that this could be happening, though it is a pretty source. I did corroborate this with someone else too, which is also a weak source, but one that we've gotten from in the past. So that puts us up to about 60% likely that we'll be seeing Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic and directing. Our next rumor is a brand new one, and that has to do with the Marvel Halloween special. We know that one is coming, and this rumor says that the Man-Thing is going to be making some sort of appearance, be it cameo or small role. That still remains to be seen, but Man-Thing, there's no reason to believe one way or the other, so we're splitting the difference, going 50% likely that we will be seeing the Man-Thing in the Marvel Halloween special. And then we have Batman rumors for the next Batman Matt Reeves movie, the Batman 2, effectively. And this one is that the big bad is going to be Clayface. I honestly have seen this one rumbling for a little while. We haven't necessarily talked about it on the show because this is the first time it comes from a decent source. So decent does not mean great, and it is kind of the only source that we're actually giving any credit. So we're splitting the difference on this one as well. 50% likely that the Clayface is going to be the big bad for the Batman 2. I think honestly a big part of that is because I just think Clayface is going to be incredibly difficult to do, and I don't know how willing Reeves is to put that kind of work in to make that a great movie. But I mean, he did a pretty good job with the last one, so I can't say definitely one way or the other, hence the 50%. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.